Greetings, folks. Getting ready to go to Autumn War, which is a massive SCA event this weekend. So on my way out the door, basically while we're packing up in the rush, I figure I've got some time to knock out another video to appease my subscribers. So yeah, I figure since I'm kind of in the mood to get all medieval and shit, that it might be a good idea to bring up the promised video where I mentioned something about having the newer Three-Dragon Ante deck, that being Emperor's Gambit, right? And having looked over the dragons before, I've seen the stuff that was in the deck. I waited a long time to pick it up because I didn't know I was actually going to enjoy most of the cards in the set, to be honest with you. I didn't think, everything seemed too complicated. And so far, the only real complaint I can really say I have now, having played it a couple of times, is that though the colors kind of run together because so many of the dragons are shades of gray or some other washed out stuff, whatever, all in all, it's still not too horrible. And the effects are more interesting in motion than you could actually just imagine in your head, that's for sure. So I'm looking forward to beating the deck up a little bit so I can mix it and match it with my older Three-Dragon Ante cards, and seeing what it looks like when we do that. So anyway, it's going to be a short video real quick because I'm going to, I've already done one video about Three-Dragon Ante and the basic strategies for how to play. I'm just going to go over some of my favorite tidbits in the new deck and how it changes gameplay a bit from what you're used to. For example, there's a lot of stuff that triggers when you ante it, right? There's these cards that have yellow back text on the bottom that basically when you ante them in the beginning of a hand, that means they have a different effect. They're going to actually change up the hand. For example, the Exarch here is a fun one, that whether it would normally trigger or not, any card you play that is a 10 or higher automatically triggers anyways. So that's pretty sweet. But the ultimate dick move of the deck, forgive my French, is the hatchling here, which basically it's like the old druid was in the original Three-Dragon Ante set, where the person with the lowest hands is going to win the game instead of the person with the highest, or not hand, but the lowest flight, the smallest, weakest flight is going to win the game, win the pot instead of the strongest flight. So with the druid, being a 6, you tend to see that coming. But since this guy goes in the ante, that means you could still try to get away with anteing it and playing, 3 ones to try to make yourself win the pot. That said, you can manipulate the ante with a lot of the new dragons. Like, for example, the purple dragon lets you stick something in the ante, so maybe you start with a normal hand with that hatchling in hand. So everyone else plays big to take the pot. You sneak some small stuff in there and throw down a purple dragon so that you can sneak this hatchling into the pot and walk away with a pot. It is a dirty, dirty way to win a hand. So I do like the fact that there are new ways to manipulate the pool and new strategies for trying to cheat money away from people. I use the word cheat, but it's nothing cheating about it. So some of the other things, earthquake dragons, for example, here they're violent, okay? Every time you play an earthquake dragon, you count the number of earthquake dragons both in play and in the ante, and everyone else pays you that amount. So every time you throw down an earthquake dragon, it's like hitting a miniature flight. So what's the worst thing you can do really is actually build a flight of earthquake dragons. Good Lord, okay, everyone give me $1. Oh wait, there's one in the ante. Everyone give me $2. Everyone give me $3. Everyone give me $4. Now everyone pay me for the second highest earthquake dragon I've got. By this point, you've made more money than even the highest pot could have made you, and everybody at the table wants to take you outside and beat your head up against the brick wall. Yeah, earthquake dragons are horrible. Everybody, everyone's gonna moan and groan about it except the person playing it. Shadow dragons, right? These ones are kind of cute. If you liked red dragons beforehand, then the shadow dragon is basically what we would consider the new red dragon, except instead of just stealing a card from the player, it goes into play, so it's like a combination red dragon / copper dragon. So it's a little bit unpredictable what you're going to get to play when you throw down a shadow dragon, but at least you're stealing it from somebody else, so you get better benefits out of it. So those are kind of annoying. Moving along. Great dragons. Opponent with the strongest flight pays you a gold for each evil dragon in the ante. You know, there's other dragons like the black dragons that are still evil dragons, ways to make money in different ways. However, given the ability to manipulate what's in the ante easier means that you can try to make yourself get more money out of this one by sticking evil dragons in the ante with shadow dragons or just anteing evil dragons, you know? So, yeah, again, that's just another avenue you can use to make money now. Now, as for old school dragons that had you drawing cards, we used to have golds and silvers. Those were a big thing back in classic Three-Dragon Ante. So there are still big card draw dragons like Mercury Dragon. You draw a card for each color of good dragon in your flight. I don't quite think they're quite as dependable as gold dragons, but because, you know, if all your dragons are the same color, then, oh well, you're only getting one card. But it does reward you for not being able to build a flight, right? And of course, the Mythal Dragon, kind of replacing silver. Instead of everyone who has a good dragon drawing a card, it's everyone who actually needs a card, having 3 or fewer cards in hand that gets to draw a card. So, you know, like the Silver Dragon, you do want to kind of resist playing these, but I can just imagine building a deck with a lot of Mithril and Silver Dragons in it, and nobody ever has to buy cards again. Honestly, because of these Mithril Dragons, you see a lot fewer people having to buy cards to refill their hands. So ultimately, I like the Three-Dragon Ante Emperor's Gambit set a lot more than I thought I was going to. So after a few more games with this, get these cards beat up so they look a little bit more like my older ones, we're going to start making our own decks, and I will have no problem posting on my channel some of the interesting decks we build and decide to play with, and so I can recommend to the viewers at home that might have both decks of Three-Dragon Ante some really cool ideas and really interesting ways to play Three-Dragon Ante. So that's all I've got time for right now, folks. Like I said, I've got a busy weekend coming up, so we'll see you on the channel next week. Thanks for watching.